Okay, next up is throttle servo setup. So this is pretty cool actually, because of the way this is designed, even for the KME engine versus OS 5055, probably the Rossi as well. These shafts are pretty much in a straight row, so getting things 90-90 is going to be pretty easy. So what I recommend is, at this point, to make things as pretty straightforward as possible, go ahead and get your last link rod out of the bag, you know, the bag that had all the link rods in it. Go ahead and put your links together, and then go ahead and adjust the link so that when you put the opening over the hole for the throttle and the hole for the servo wheel, and actually it looks like I could use another turn there, that you basically have a straight rod shot hole to hole. Alright, that way when we go to do our servo and whatnot, we're going to be straight 90-90. So this is a real good way just to get your link set up straight up from the beginning, hole to hole, opening to opening, and this should make it pretty straightforward. Now, to do that, again, I took off the control horn for the carburetor. Don't lose that star washer, and I have no horn on the servo. What we're going to do next is we're going to go ahead and power up. I'm going to go to center stick on the throttle. We're going to find a 90 arm, and then we're going to go ahead and adjust this arm so that the throttle barrel, as you see here, I'll zoom in a little bit, is on the middle mark. Now, some people have debated this with me before, but it's always worked out good for me. On OS and most carburetors, you have a middle mark. That is center between full and closed. And you have a middle mark, all right? So what we're going to want to do is go ahead at that point, and what did I just do with that arm? Dang it. I just set it aside. Anyway, what we want to do is put that arm so it's 90 with that middle mark, okay? So 90, and then we're going to set up our servo at 90. Anyway, the other thing I want to talk about is ball spacing. The manual tends to show the ball on the farthest out on a 5-star wheel, Futaba of course, and it tends to show the ball on the middle hole of the throttle arm. Dang it, what did I just do with that? Bear with me, guys. It's been a long day. There it is. Alright, and it tends to show the hole on the middle mark, or the lower point, on the throttle carburetor control. I'm going to go do all the work. What we want to do is we want to get as close to 100 and 100 as we can on the throttle endpoint adjustments. So I'm going to go ahead and do the work. I'm going to start out with a ball here. I'm going to put the ball in the center and see what I get. If that's close to 100, I'll let you know. But I'll play around, come back, find out where that is. And then because we did this link from center to center, we should be able to just go right on the balls and still have a middle throttle barrel mark 90-90. I really like the way Outrage set this up, so you don't have some angle on the throttle. You have to figure out what's 90-90. It should be easy. Anyway, let me start taking a look at that. We'll come back and review. Okay, so I finished throttle servo setup. Now what I wound up with was the ball on the outer arm here and the ball on the outer arm of this 4-star wheel. And as you can see, no binding at full throttle, and at low throttle, again, I am just above the idle mark on the carburetor down here. Alright, just above that. Now I'm guessing that that's about where idle is, and so when I go to start my engine, I may have to go into my endpoint for low stick on throttle and adjust that up or down a few clicks. Alright, so you want to try to be close. And if you'll notice, my endpoints are 108 and 108, so I'm as close to 100 to 100 as I can get. Now a lot of people ask me, well, how close do you have to be? I would say you probably don't want to be lower than 80, or above, say, you know, 115-ish, somewhere around there, because depending on the governor you have, it may not work properly if you go too far beyond that, as it may not like it, so or may not work properly. So anyway, that's where I set up on my throttle, and that's going to finish the throttle setup, and it's pretty straightforward. I'm using an Align governor here, and so I have not set this up completely yet. I have a video on how to do this. See my T-Rex 500 Nitro build videos, as there's a specific video in there on how to set up this governor. It's pretty straightforward, but I have a video on there on doing the initialization and setup. Other than that, that finishes throttle servo setup, and we'll continue on.